So I wanted to do this video because I feel like the Yeezy foam runners and slides are really comfortable, especially the pairs that I've been wearing for the past few years, which is the foam runner Onyx and also the Onyx slides. And those were the first pairs I bought, which were back probably around 2021, 2022. One of those sort of footwear pieces that I was just really interested in, and at that point the resale prices were really high. And so I decided to sort of buy both pairs. So the Onyx pair is pretty much cooked, so I'm not showing that particular model, but I do have the MX Cinder, which is very close to how I feel about those. And the Onyx pair, this one here is 2021, I think, roughly, when when they were made, maybe earlier. But I just found both those pairs to be solid and really comfortable on foot. And like I said, the MX Cinder is one of those ones which is feels pretty much the same as the Onyx pair as well. I think with the manufacturing date on these is quite sort of early on as well, because I did buy these I think maybe back in late 2022 or early 2023. And with like the pairs, I started looking at kind of wearing some other Yeezy slides that I've got, and also some foam runners that I've got, such as the clay taupe colorway and the Granite slides. And with like the foam runners, there was like a difference between the MX Granite pair, which I think it was called, the grey pair, and comparing to sort of these pairs, the shape was different, but the material was pretty much the same. However, with they say the foam runners, I've been wearing both of these pairs. This one's probably not so much, and this one quite a bit, and you can probably see that the outsole is quite sort of worn, especially in the forefoot area, as you can sort of see here. But even though it's worn, it still sort of feels fine on foot, and you can kind of walk around in it. And the comfortability on these, because like they have the algae material in them, it's kind of got that really sort of soft material and sort of presses in as you're sort of walking around. So almost like it's cushioning your foot, but also has that sort of pillow-like effect, where it kind of similar to, say, I suppose, Boost or an Air Max unit, where it kind of provides that sort of stability as well. And like I said, that kind of cushioning, almost like sort of your heel in the trainer. And so that, for that reason, it feels nice. And what I found with this pair, the material on this feels similar to the Onyx pair, and it's quite sort of, it's got a little bit of a texture on it, but it feels quite soft. And the more you wear them, the even the outer and the inside just becomes really soft and really sort of malleable, almost to the point of where the footwear feels like it's molded to your foot, which is what you'd expect. And with this particular one, like I said, the comfort level was the same as the Onyx pair, and I've probably worn these pairs, I think maybe during the summer, probably around, I reckon, 10 times, and each time a couple of hours, for just sort of walking around in casually, nothing too sort of strenuous. And it's a pair that I'm really happy with. So I have another pair of these in reserve, so I do really like foam runners, and that should kind of last me pretty much for the next good few years. And then this particular pair I bought out because I didn't want to sort of wear out this particular Cinder colorway, and also just wanted a different colorway to wear, which is this clay taupe colorway. And I really like these, and I won these ones on retail maybe at the end of 2023 from Yeezy. Maybe it was like sort of September, August time, when they dropped more Yeezys. And what I find different with these is the material just feels a little bit off, and it might just be me, but I'm kind of feeling both of them, and they feel similar, and it's kind of sort of minute, but the comfort level isn't just there. So I was using algae material, I know that, and then also EVA material, so it's a combination of both. But this one feels more firm on foot. I don't know, the reason behind that, because when I'm kind of walking around in these, they just feel different to these. And it's only when you're like comparing side by side that you kind of notice that difference. But if you just had, say, this pair, you wouldn't know the difference. And in all honesty, you might even turn around and sort of say, I don't see what the fuss is about with the Yeezys, because these foam runners are not that comfortable, and they're okay. And for that reason, I completely agree. If you take that sort of stance, but I found like more that I've worn these probably about, again, 7 or 8 times, a couple of hours each time, and they had a bit of wear, as you can sort of see in the bottom. But it's one of those ones where it just still feels quite solid, and compared to the other pair, even though the texture on the upper is quite sort of still, it has more of a rougher texture, more of a rigid texture as well. But when you compare them side by side and you feel the materials, they kind of feel similar. but I just find there isn't as much give with this particular pair. And like I say, it's not to do with wearing time, because I've been wearing them quite a lot, and at this point, you know, I expect them to be quite sort of soft, but they still feel very rigid on foot, and that even sort of translates to the, I suppose, midsole outsole side of it as well. So like I said, they feel really firm on foot. And then I've had a similar experience with the slides. So this is, like I said, an original pair of Onyx slides, so forgive me for showing like a really dirty used pair. And this is the reason why I started wearing another pair, because as you can sort of see, it started to get cooked, and I was thinking, you know, I'd wear these for just going out and that kind of thing. And it's just a pair that I've been wearing quite a lot. And you know, initially it was quite a bit tight, you know, around the strap area and around the sort of heel area, but that sort of settles in after a while. After about 10 wears, you know, it feels quite nice on foot. And with this one again, similar thing really. The material feels really soft and quite sort of, you know, sort of dips inwards, and that's what makes it feel sort of nice and comfortable on foot. And even the sort of heel area here, it almost feels like you have like this boost type effect, and it's quite sort of flexible, but also sort of sinks into your foot. So as you're walking along, it gives you that sort of nice feeling, you know, of plushness really and softness. And it's not like it's super soft, it's probably more on the sort of going towards the medium side, but still soft regardless. And then with the newer pairs, say this Granite pair and the other pairs that I have as well, which are I think the Slate pair or grey pair, Slate grey pair, and with these ones I just find they're a bit different. They fit different as well, I know that. I mean, obviously I've been wearing this one as well, as you can sort of see the label started to rub off. But in terms of the materials, I've worn this one probably, I reckon, maybe around 12 to 14 hours, let's say, and these ones broken pretty quickly. And with this one, they still seem to have that sort of rigid structure to them, where I'm wearing them and feel like it's one of those types of footwear that even though I've been wearing them, they're not sort of broken in, and they also feel a lot sort of firmer on foot as well, so which is quite surprising. And you kind of feel both, and I can feel a slight difference with this one. Obviously it's worn in, but with this one, like I said, even though I've worn them quite a bit, they still feel very sort of rigid and very kind of tough to the touch, and they don't have as much forgiveness in them. So I think for me, it was just one of those things. I've been wear testing them, and they just don't feel as comfortable as these original pairs. And thankfully, I have another pair of these, and maybe another pair of bone slides as well that I can kind of wear, and which are more comfortable on foot. But it's not like they're awful. Same thing again. It's one of those things that if you've just had this pair and you've not had an original pair, which is, you know, pre 2022, you might not even sort of worry about it. But it's one of those things that you notice, you know, compared to different types of footwear. It's kind of similar to, I don't know, wearing a pair of Air Max 180s back in the day to wearing a pair now, and they feel different on foot. And you know, it might be the placebo effect, or you know, or you looking back more fondly upon a model, but there is a, you know, difference between the cushioning level, you know, when you first had a pair back in 91 for example, compared to now. And usually the 91 models had sort of better insoles and that kind of thing. So yeah, so just wanted to highlight that really. So there are differences in my opinion, and I think for me, you know, I prefer still wearing these, and I kind of look at both and kind of sort of think, okay, I'm just going to put these on, but these are getting to the point where they're sort of pre-cooked. So you know, so that's one of those things where I'm just a bit like, you know, it's interesting, I suppose, but also you know, I won't really be looking to buy any more of the newer versions of the slides or the foam runners, in all honesty.